Okay, so I know I'm like hella late, but this is Che Speaks on the EMI conference. I was supposed to do this like days ago, but y'all know shit happens and niggas get behind. Watch that word. I can say it, but you can't, John Mayer. Anyway, all right, moving on. That's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but not so much for me. But anyway, so I was in New York a few days ago for the EMI Urban Songwriters Conference. So this video is to tell you about what that is and my experience with it. Because honestly, I didn't know what the hell I was getting myself into. I was just told to show up, and that's what I did, unknowingly of what was going to happen. But the EMI Urban Songwriters Conference is where all the songwriters who are urban, or create urban music, I should say, convene together. We convened in New York. We were at the Hilton Hotel in Manhattan. And basically what it is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Who's Looking list, but if you're a writer, if you're a producer, more than likely you get this list every quarter. And that list lets you know which artist on which label is looking for what type of material. Especially new artists that are newly signed, and then whoever else is working. It just shows you everyone on the roster, who's looking and who's currently working and what they're looking for. Because somebody like Alicia Keys may be looking for just beats with hook ideas. Somebody like JoJo may need full songs, and it may say young teen pop, Beyonce, Edge, big ballad, tearjerker. You know, it'll say all that in one little line, and you're supposed to put all that in one song. So that's the Who's Looking list. So what the EMI Urban Songwriters Conference is like I guess you say a physical meeting of the Who's Looking list. So we all come together and we amass in this big ass room around this big like table that looks like the Last Supper or some shit. And we sit there, and then the A&Rs from each label come and sit in the middle of the room, and they present their roster. And what's funny about the conference is that they're presenting to you who is actually looking at the moment and who is priority at the moment. Because, you know, those Who's Looking lists include a lot of names of people that are signed, but you and I both know we may not ever see them people on TV or hear them on the radio. So the A&Rs actually let you know who is priority at the moment at the label. And even out of that list, you may not hear or see from those people ever. But, so that's what happens. Scenario. J Records enters, and we get Larry Jackson and Peter Edge, and they come to the table and they put on a CD and they play you a Jennifer Hudson record with Neo. And they let you know this is the direction of the project. They let you know all that's going to be put behind the project, what type of records they're looking for, and then they provide you with their contact information. And it's your job to then go in and try to create a record geared towards their project, if that's what you do. A lot of people don't like to work that way. Don't like to go into the studio and say, I'm going to make a record like this today for this person. Because that restricts your creative flow. So, but it is good to know what they're looking for. And it's also good to know what they think is hot. Because what they think is hot may not be what you think is hot. And oftentimes, that's the case. And oftentimes, what they think is hot ain't that hot. But they're the ones that cut the checks. So, that's basically what takes place during the the EMI Urban Songwriters Conference. But more importantly than that, hearing the A&R and their feedback and what they're looking for, it really and truly is a place to network and meet people. As you all know, I am newly signed to Rock Nation, which has most people don't know this, Rock Nation has a JV publishing situation with EMI. So I kind of feel like I get the best of both worlds. I get the name and the brand of Jay and Rock Nation, but I get the history and the network of EMI. Shout out to Leotis, Clyburn. Why did I just say Clay? Shout out to Leotis, and everybody at EMI. So basically, being signed to them and being newly signed, there are a lot of people that I didn't know. A lot of people may have heard of my name or may have heard of some records, but have no idea really who I am. So this was a great opportunity to put a face to the name, and a name and face to some of the records that they've already heard. Sidebar, you know, I'm going to say that a lot. Sidebar is when I have a thought in my mind and it takes me somewhere else and it's a little off topic, but you'll follow me. So anyway, sidebar, at the conference, they play records that they think will display the project and where the project should go. And one of my records was played, which I think was kind of dope. Being a new songwriter, only signed for a few months, I have a nice little amount of placement so far in that time span. But one of my records was played for Karina Pazian to show the direction of the album, and it was a record called Love Is, and I love Love Is. I love that record, so it was a good feeling to hear that play, and I played that shit off like I was like tweeting like or whatever, I hear my record shit. I was excited. I was blushing a little bit. But anyway, but I was trying to play it off, y'all. But it did feel good to hear my record played. So it was a time to come and network and just meet a bunch of people. And also while I was there, I had like a session every night. They worked the shit out of me because we had to be up. 8:30 was breakfast. The conference began at 10 a.m. and went all the way till like 6 or 7 p.m. Of course, I was late every morning because that's just part of my MO to get there when I want to get there. But that's just between me and y'all, okay? So anyway, it was from 10 to 6 every day. And after that, they had a mixer. And then after that, I think some of us had sessions each night. So I got there Sunday morning and I had a session Sunday night. I had a session Monday night and a session Tuesday night. And actually, I kind of want to shout out some of the people that I kind of met and worked with while I was there. Ursula, who signed to L.A. Reid Publishing. Battle Roy, who was dope as hell. I really enjoyed that session, along with Steve-O. Jay Angel, who is fellow Rock. Nation. Ben Harrison, fellow Rock. Deputy, fellow Rock. I didn't get to work with Deputy in New York, but I actually just did a record with Deputy. Well, not with him. He wasn't here, but one of his records last night that Jay Angel also wrote on, which is retarded. Like, Deputy, like... Like, actually, just to let you know, like, if anybody was in the conference, the feeling that we all got when they played those Dirty Money beats, that's the feeling I got working on this Deputy record last night. Like, when I heard that beat, I got that same feeling. So anybody that was in that room, you know exactly what I'm talking about. LaShawn Daniels, I got to meet LaShawn Daniels, which was dope. And if you are a songwriter and vocal producer, you know what that means to your craft. LaShawn, is a beast. So it was great to meet him. Rob Knox, worked with him. He also has like the Jamie Foxx and Justin Timberlake record like out right now, and that's like a NBA record or whatever. So that's dope as fuck. The Heavyweights, I did a great record with the Heavyweights and Ben Harrison. My final night there, and that you're gonna hear that record. You may not hear every record I do because it just don't work out like that, but you're gonna hear that record. Then Came You. I'm even gonna put the title out there. The name of that song is Then Came You, and you're gonna hear that sooner than later. I really do feel that way. So shout out to all of you and everybody else that I met, that I didn't name. But it was just it was a great feeling to be in there with people that are like-minded and share the same passion and drive and trying to make just good music. And it's so funny because people try to label what's good music. Music is what comes from you. It's what's innate and what feels good to you. If it feels good to you, it's going to feel good to somebody else too. So just make something that you are proud of and that you can stand behind. I touched on Dirty Money. Like, that shit was hard as hell. Matthew knows how to present. He knows how to develop talent. He was there. All his acts performed live. He had his group, his UK group. He had a gospel artist, and he had Tiffany Evans saying the shit out of singing. I don't even know how to... She just sang. Like, she sang. And, I don't really have nothing else to say. It was retarded. We gave her a standing no. I've worked with Tiffany. I love her to death, and she killed every ounce of that microphone. I don't think that mic works anymore. But, yeah, she murdered it. Like, the mic is dead. It's murked. It's laid to rest. One thing all the A&R said that I found interesting is that to try something different, to think outside the box, try to write a record they haven't heard before, just go outside of the norm. And while I respect that, and it was good to hear, I don't, come on, y'all. I don't think they're ready for that or that they're going to be open to it, but only time will tell. So I just keep trying to write the records that like I said, are good to me, that feel good to me, and hopefully they'll feel good to somebody else. But a lot of people said that Amanda Ghost was the first to say it, and I think maybe they got a copy of her script and just kind of said what she said, but whatever. I don't know. We'll see. Because a lot of stuff they were playing did not represent what they were saying. Your actions didn't match your words, A&Rs. But nonetheless, I'm going to keep turning these records. So that's kind of really all I have to say about the EMI Urban Songwriters Conference. It was a great experience. I'm glad I went.